Hi, this is Patty Butcher at Katydids. Recently, a question came up about how to take an existing pattern and create a block out of that. So I decided I would do a quick little tutorial on that. And it's something we don't use often. It's kind of hidden in the screen here. So I'm going to just do a quick tutorial. The first thing we need to do is bring a block up and put the pattern that we want to contour into that block. So I'm going to hit Design Sew Quilt, Start New, Block Pattern. We're going to enter our block manually, and I'm just going to choose a 12 by 12 block, which I already have set up here. So I tap Continue, and there's my block. I'm going to hit Finished and go to my pattern catalog. Now I want to pull up an existing pattern that I have in my catalogs. I'm going to go to Patterns by Helen. We all have this pattern, and it's Betty Flower Continuous, or it could be just the Betty Flower. It doesn't have to be a continuous pattern. So I'm going to tap that, hit Continue, and there is my pattern. Now say I want to what I'm trying to show you here is I want to take this pattern and convert it to a block. So I can then place another pattern inside the block. So we're going to hit Finished, and we're on the Add Edit Pattern screen. I don't want to add a pattern. I want to convert this to a block. So I'm going to hit Finished, Add Edit Block, tap that, add a block. What type of block? Just a standard block for right now. Now over here on the right you see a button that says Create Pattern Contour. We're going to tap that, select a pattern to contour by touching one of its points. We're going to touch Betty Flower and hit Continue. Now we're on the Create Contour screen. It says touch the area to be contoured. So I'm going to touch the outside. I could touch the inside and that would create a contour of the inside of the block, but I'm just going to touch out here, and you can see that there's a green line now. So it is contouring this pattern to create a block. We have some options down here. Points sharp, I can change that from points sharp to points rounded. And if I'm rounding it, I can change the degree of smooth. We'll just say 50%. So it's just rounded off those points. Let's put that back to 0. And we're going to go back to sharp because I want it to follow the outline of the pattern as much as possible. We can also, if you want that block to be slightly smaller than the actual pattern, we can change the gap, or vice versa, larger. So I'm just going to put a 1/4 of an inch gap in here just for demonstration purposes. Hit enter, and so what it's done is it's brought the contour outside of the block by a 1/4 of an inch. And the red line is still my pattern. The green line will become my block. On the ribbon here, you see this second button, plus minus. If I tap that, that will change the position of my contour from outside to inside the block. By tapping it again, it puts the contour back on the outside. I'm going to bring my gap back down to 0% because I want it to be the actual block. I want it to be the size of my pattern. So I'm going to hit enter. So here you can see the red is still my pattern. The green is what's going to become my block. So I have it set how I want it, my gap and my points sharp. So I'm going to hit finished. And you see blue now and then like a black. The blue is still my pattern. So let me go add edit pattern, modify pattern, tap that, and just move it out of the way, and there you see my block. I've created a block contour from a pattern. Now I can save that block so I don't ever have to recreate it. If I get another applique shape or something in that shape, I have the block already created. So we're going to hit finished, finished, and we're on the Design Sew Quilt, and we have the option down here of Save Quilt or Pattern. So I'm going to tap that, and you have over here you have your three options: save a block, save a pattern, or save the quilt. I want to save the block, so I'm going to tap that, touch the block to save, hit continue, and then it takes me to naming the block. I'm going to hit the clear button, and I'm going to just call this Betty Flower Block. Hit enter, and where do I want to save it? I'm going to put it in a Quilt Blocks catalog that I've created. If you only have your geometric catalog and you want to create a new catalog, you can tap new and name it. Let's just do that. I'm going to hit new catalog, hit select, and then it's going to ask me to name the catalog, and I'll just call this pattern Contour, because that is how we created the block. I'm going to hit enter, and it has put that block that we just created into my pattern contour catalog. So if I hit, let's get out of this, and I go to my utilities, library maintenance, block library, and we're just going to look at move. If I go to pattern contour, there you see that block we just created using the pattern contour function. So hopefully this will help you guys if you've never used it before. Thanks.